Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu salam, rasulullah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to welcome to our program here at Sharjah Media Corporation. Getting to know Allah, getting closer to your Lord. And this is essential for each one of us before the angel of death takes our souls, before we leave this world. And people who are lagging behind, putting things behind, saying, well, when I get older, a lot of young people say, well, I'm young now. When I get older, I'll be religious. And a lot of older people say, well, I haven't been religious all my life, so why should I be religious now? I believe, brother, isn't that enough? I believe in God, isn't that enough? And my question for this is, for you, is that enough in anything that you do? Is it enough to say, well, I'm a doctor and not take action on it? Is it enough to say, I'm a lawyer and not take action on it? Is it enough to say, I'm a brick mason or I'm a truck driver? Will the building get built? Will the truck move? If you don't follow whatever requirements there are, do whatever licensing or education or whatever is required for you to perform your duty, will it move? No, it won't. So when we take our lives very lightly like this, well, Allah knows what's in my heart. Yes, Allah knows what's in your heart without question. But Allah has given everyone opportunity. And those people that don't have the opportunity, they have to be accountable to what they have knowledge of. But they have responsibility of pursuing knowledge. Today, these vehicles, which the one is that you're watching right now, are available globally. So people can be informed. It is just at their fingertips, literally at their fingertips. But they have to want to understand. They have to want to know the truth. So let's listen about this truth. In Abdullah bin Masud, the report of Prophet said, the first defect in religion which affected the children of Israel in the way that man would meet another and say to him, fear Allah and abstain from what you are doing, for this is not lawful for you. Fear Allah and abstain from what you're doing, for this is not lawful for you. Then he would meet him the next day and find no change in him. But this would not prevent him from eating with him, drinking with him, and sitting in his assemblies. That the man was calling another man to righteousness, but this man, he didn't need righteousness. He continued on his path, and the man who was calling him kept interacting with him, as opposed to saying, well, I've been calling you, or maintaining it like this, maintain that relationship. No, he took it like this as, okay, well, we're buddies, so let's have lunch together and let's socialize together, even though this man repelled the concept and the belief in the oneness of Allah. When it came to this, Allah let their hearts into evil ways on account of their association with each other. Then he recited, those among the children of Israel, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, those among the children of Israel who disbelieved were cursed by the tongue of David, alayhi salam, and Jesus, alayhi salam. That was because they disobeyed Allah and the messengers and were ever transgressing beyond bounds. This Surah number 5, verse number 78 to 81. They used to not forbid one another from the munkar, doing wrong and evil deeds, sins and polytheism and disbelief, which they committed, while indeed was that what they used to do. You see many of them taking the disbelievers as their protectors and helpers. Evil intent indeed is that which their own selves have sent forward before them. For that reason, Allah's wrath fell upon them, and in torment will they abide. So we're looking at these people who were the children of Israel, who have been favored by Allah. Allah sent more prophets to them than any other people. They fell by the wayside because they were interacting with people who were doing evil deeds. And let's take an example of this today. We have, in today's world, many people, they're very famous, but they're evil. They're famous, but they're evil. Their actions are, subhanAllah, when you look at their actions, their lifestyle, it is just, if you address it, how did this person become famous? Who put him out there as a role model? His life, as you can see, He's an evil person's life is completely evil. It may be hidden from the general public, but when you study it, you'll see that this guy is really a big Satan. So these people, they found this with the people, but they continued to interact with them. They didn't segregate themselves from them. They didn't identify these people as the people who were doing wrong, and telling the other people, stay away from them. No, they interacted with them. So let's see what happened. And the law says to the Prophet, and what has been revealed to him, never would they have taken them, the disbelievers, as protectors and helpers. But many of them are the fasiqeen, the rebellious, disobedient people to Allah. Then the Prophet continued, nay, by Allah, you either enjoin good and forbid evil, and catch hold of the hand of the oppressor and persuade him to act justly and stick to the truth, or Allah will involve the hearts of some of you with the hearts of the others and will curse you as he had cursed them. It's collected by Abu Dawud and Tirmidhi as Hassan. So this is an example for us. When people say, well, I'm just with my friends and we're just kind of doing our thing. We don't hurt anybody. We have a group and we just do our thing. And this is us. This is who we are. This is our identity. I'll say to you, this is an identity crisis. If people are saying this is your identity, you're being led down a path by people who are deaf, dumb, and blind. Be very, very careful. We only have one life to give in this world. Don't involve yourself with people who will lead you astray to waste your life. And this is very common today. If you don't believe it, look at the statistics globally of people who are substance abuses, drugs and alcohol. Look at the high percentage, both male and female, and even children to a degree. When we talk about preteens even. So if we look at that, we say this is a very dangerous time that we're in when we relate to Iman, to faith. This time is an assault. Satan has launched a massive assault against us right before we die, right before we pray, and so forth and so on. So we should take heed and make effort now before it's too late. Before we're not the carrier, we are the one who is being carried. And none of us know when that time will be, but we know that it's coming. So take precaution. Be very careful. And there's no such thing as being too careful from an Islamic point of view to protect myself from what is happening externally. Even if I don't understand it, I'm not aware of it, I'm not conscious of what's going on in a particular place, I establish to the best of my ability a mechanism to protect myself from whatever evil that I see and that may impact me on my life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah number 2, verse number 44, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, enjoin you al-bir, meaning piety and righteousness, in every obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the people, and you forget the practices of yourself while you recite the scripture, the Torah. Have you then no sense? And you see, Allah is talking to the Jews. And Osama bin Zayd, reported, the Prophet said, a man will be brought in the day of resurrection and will be cast into hell. And his intestines will pour forth, and he will go around them as a donkey goes around a millstone. The inmates of hell will gather around him and say, what has happened to you, O so-and-so? Were you not enjoining us to do good and forbidding us to do evil? He will reply, I was enjoining you to do good, but was not doing it myself. And I was forbidding you to do evil, but was doing it myself. It's by Bukhari and Muslim. So we need to beware that we are not those people, that we're the people who are inviting people to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but at the same time, we ourselves are steeped in sin. So we should ask Allah for forgiveness abundantly, to make positive actions, to take positive action to correct myself, and humble myself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sake of my own soul. So I need to focus on that. I need to look at that. I need to get that into my consciousness. Now allow myself to be isolated from the Muslims and be focused on my life, the life of my family, in obedience to the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sake of my own soul, and to make effort on mankind. Allah has created us to do this, to make effort that most of the people globally are confused. And that if one person in our lifetime, due to our efforts, is inspired and encouraged to practice Islam, obey the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the way that Allah has commanded, then this will be benefit for us. So he says, well, why should I talk to the people? I says, well, minimally, the more people I talk to who become encouraged to practice Islam, the more that goes into my account. When people are looking for benefit, they're looking for financial benefit usually to go into their accounts. We're thinking about the account of the hereafter, not the account of this world. This world in itself will take care of itself. What about the next one where we have no control? The time will be up. So we need to focus and understand this. What is my present condition? What is my present relationship with my Lord? How can I improve that relationship? What are the steps that I need to take to do that? But first, I have to have the desire, don't I? I have to have the awareness and consciousness of the importance of it and the availability of it and how serious it is to implement it in my life for the sake of my own soul. So we're saying out there, get ready. Get ready. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to give to the believers. And at the same time, the believers should want to give to mankind, that we should want a more righteous society. We should want a society that's more pleasing to Allah. We should make the effort. We should make the effort to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and encourage others and try to communicate to them the misunderstanding. If they don't understand who is Allah, what is the relationship they should have. Saying they practice some other religion, okay, we have some responsibility and accountability for communicating to the people about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the benefit of knowing Allah? And what is the loss of not knowing? What do you have to gain, for example, and what do you have to lose if you do not implement, you do not practice? Think about that. And if you know someone who's not practicing, just ask them very simply. If someone was giving you, let's make it very, very simple, one gold coin about this big daily to make sure that you prayed 5 times a day, would you do it? Or would you think about it? Well, I'm not sure. What would you do? Most people I talk to says, of course I would do it. Why? Because we know the value of the gold coin. Do we know the value of praying? We need to ask ourselves that. Do I know the value of praying? Because if I knew the value of praying, then I, of course, would not want to leave it. It would be the most dear thing to me. People say, well, some people are like that. I said, yes, but what effort have we made? If we make a comparative analysis between the efforts that we make for worldly pursuits, how much of the same effort are we making for materialism? We need to ask ourselves these questions. And where do I stand? If I'm on a plane with nothing else around me, where do I stand? What will be my condition? And you need to answer it. You need to answer for yourself. And you need to answer it realistically as much as you can conceive of. What will be my condition when I am alone, when I have to answer to Allah? What will be my condition? Look at your life. This will tell you. You might be in denial about it, but look at your life. Allah has given us the signals, given us the signs. Allah has called us in to worship Him in the way that He has prescribed, not the way that we want to. He's given us things in this world to make it easy for us. All of us who are Muslims, we know this. At the same time, He's given us tests to test us and strengthen us and to encourage us to move forward. So we're asking ourselves, what is my present condition right now? What is my relationship with my Lord? Do not misjudge it, but value it. What is the relationship that I have right now? If my relationship is not correct, I need to go to the people who can help me straighten up my life, help me move straight on this path, and ultimately believe in the righteousness of Islam, and that this is the true religion for all of mankind until the day of judgment. So we need to understand these things and put them in perspective. We not be led astray one way or the other. Understanding it, implementing in our life, and always begging Allah for forgiveness and begging for help for ourselves, for our families, for others. So think about it, my dear viewers. What is your present condition? How is it that we can help you? What is that we can do to make things better for you to the best of our limited ability? But we believe in that. We believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can change any condition. And that Allah will change the condition. What is the level of our own hearts? What is it that we're doing on a daily basis that we can turn to Allah, that we haven't turned over to Allah, that we can turn over to Allah with the hope that our life will change? Believing that the help of Allah is near and that Allah can change our life in a split second if He chooses. But we ourselves have a trust. What is that we're doing to get this level of help from Allah? What are we willing to do? And then what are we going to do on a regular basis? Not helter-skelter. So these are simple questions, but we need to look at the answers. And if we don't do it, what will Allah do? Allah will give His religion to whoever He feels deserves it. He doesn't need us. We need Him. So think about these things. Put them into impact where it is that you live. Put them into practice. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to thank you for joining us here at Sharjah Media Corporation on Getting to Know Your Lord. And we hope that everyone has gotten some benefit from this program and that you'll be able to move forward. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept your efforts. Jazakallah khair, barakallah feek, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.